Hey everyone, Joey here with Green Horizon Trade. Let's break down today's ORB Scanner setup and the rule of the day. Today was a great example of why confirmation matters more than excitement. We had a clear winner with NBY, a smaller, more controlled move in AMOD, and a really important no trade lesson with NVVE, which kept hitting the orb high, but never actually broke through the orb. And this is a good example of why we don't want to be exactly on the orb high, just a couple cents above the orb high. I'm going to walk you through exactly what separated the winners from the rest and why the rule of the day mattered. Overall, today's market rewarded structured and patience, not aggression. There were several names showing early activity on market open, but very few that actually followed through with volume and clean price action after the open. This was not a day where chasing the first move paid off. It was a day where waiting for confirmation kept you on the right side of the trade. Now let's start with the first ticker, which is NBY, because this was the cleanest orb setup of the day. I mean, within the market open, we didn't have a whole lot of volume, so this was harder to catch, but it did have a great reward. NBY was flagged early by the ORB Scanner, but the key detail here is that it didn't just spike and fell. Once the price reclaimed the orb high, it did exactly what I want to see, which it stayed above the VWAP and respected the 9 EMA trend line right here, and there was no need to chase the extensions. The higher probability entries came from letting the price come back into the 9 EMA and then continue. And that is right around here. Now, if you missed the orb high because you wasn't watching it because of this little bit of low volume, a good entry point was right around here where I mentioned the BRB, where it pulls back, okay, and then it comes back and it goes back green. So a good entry point would have been right here around the $8 line. And you can see that took off for, another dollar a share. There's no reason to chase this. As long as the NBY stayed above that short-term structure, the trade stayed valued. And for me, I got out of it once it came under this, which was right about here. I noticed it coming under the 9 EMA, hitting that 21. And at some point, you got to say enough is enough for me. And that's what I did. So I got out of it. Obviously, I left a lot of money on the table, but you don't want to be greedy. That's how you end up losing all your profits. The second one that I want to go over today is AMOD, which is a good example of a name that worked, just not in an explosive way. So this one did come in. I do like to see where it does kind of pull back, gives you a little bit more time to get in it, but it doesn't really explode. It does spike up and then it comes back down. But you see, this is a quick, easy trade that you can make. And as I mentioned previously before, where is my paintbrush? Right here. You can see it starts dipping down, coming, dipping down, same thing. Look at the volume. The volume starts doing the exact same thing. It starts dipping down, coming down, and it's done. So that's a good indication of when to get out, that, hey, look, this doesn't have a lot, even though that this only spiked up a little bit, it's still a little bit of profit here. I said, you just want to take a little bit of the meat of the move. So this was really only about 5 cents on there, about a 7% increase, depending on when you actually got in. So a nice little move there. Now let's talk about NVVE. This one was an interesting one, just because what it likes to do is this stock here just really wanted to trick you out. So you can see it hits the orb high and then comes down, hits it, comes down. So these are really the tricky ones right here. Why you really want to make sure that you stay in control, why you're disciplined to see what it is. And with stocks like this, when I get in these ones and it hits, pulls back, hits again, if it can't maintain this hit like NVE did, I like to get out of these. I don't like to stay in them. Because look at this, that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, to me, that's not going to hit. And then it kept trying, and right now it's actually trying. But I'll be surprised if this actually breaks it. It's going to need some type of catalyst to force it over there for it to continue. Yes, it has volume coming in. Yes, it's coming in there. But 378 is about a major resistance for it. So it'll be interesting to watch for the rest of the day. Every push into the orb high was met with rejection, as I mentioned earlier, and the price fell to establish acceptance. This is a classic trap for traders who anticipate instead of waiting for it to hit, and that's why I like to get in. If the orb high is 378, I probably don't want to get in until about 380, 381, which is a couple cents to see if it holds it, or even just to see if it will hold that line. So break it and retest it, and then break out from that area. So the rule of today, as I mentioned, repeated tests of the orb high without volume do not equal confirmation. Okay, repeated orb tests without volume are not breakouts. NVE showed this perfectly. Just because price touches orb high multiple times doesn't mean it's going to break it. What matters is acceptance, strong volume, clean candles, and follow through above the level. If that's missing, the trade is not there. NBY worked because it confirmed and respected structure. AMOD worked because it followed the same rule, even if the move was a lot smaller. NVE failed not because it collapsed, but because it never gave the right confirmation that we're looking for. The scanner kept me focused on the right names and kept me out of low quality trades today. If you want to see these setups live instead of after the fact, the ORB Scanner is linked below in the description. There's a free trial if you want to follow along in real time. And if you found this breakout helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel and all the free content that I'm putting out there. As I mentioned, again, there is a free trial for the ORB Scanner and the other programs that I have online. Just go ahead and visit my website at greenhorizontrade.com. I'll be back tomorrow with another breakdown. Appreciate everyone watching. Thank you.